What's up guys and welcome back to On The Brick. Before we get into today's video, I just want to tell you about something awesome. Custom Brick Builder saw the video I made for him and his store and he liked it so much he wanted to give a discount to you guys. So if you go to his website, custombrickbuilder.com, you can buy any 3 heads, unpainted heads, and you will get a 4th for free. All you have to do is make sure to use the code onthebrick3 at checkout. With that said, today's video is one of the newer LEGO releases, set 75306, the Imperial Probe Droid. This set contains 683 pieces, is for 18 plus, and I guess is the newest set in their line of buildable characters, or whatever these are being called. The back of the box shows you pretty much the same exact thing, just from a slightly different angle, and also shows stills from the movie, and it tells you how tall this thing actually is. I know a lot of people were disappointed that this was in dark bluish gray when it looks like the probe droid is black, and that's because the probe droid is black. However, they did include this still, which kind of looks dark bluish gray, and if you've ever worked in all black, you can tell that it's not always the best looking thing when it's done, so I can understand why they went with dark bluish gray. But anyway, let's look at the actual set. And here it is. This was a surprisingly easy build. For 683 pieces, it only took a few hours maybe to do, and that obviously doesn't include something that I'm going to have to talk about in just a second here. But yeah, there wasn't anything too complicated or too out there. I don't really know why this is an 18 plus set, because it wasn't like expert level or anything, but it was an enjoyable build. And honestly, I actually do like how it looks. I think this is very well done. It has some flaws that we're about to go into, but overall I think this is a fine set. The first thing you build is the base. Considering we see this probe droid on Hoth, it's no surprise that they made it look like a snowy landscape then. It is a pretty simple build, and of course it does have the plaque integrated into it. And if you're noticing that this looks a little different than yours, that's only because I added a few extra pieces that I had afterwards. It's nothing really too special, and I do think it looks good. And a part of that is because of this plaque. I always love these things. You can see all the information from this. One of my favorites that I actually don't know if this is the case, but Arachid Industries. Arachnids are spiders, and considering that this looks like a spider, I wouldn't be surprised. The one thing that I really don't like about this is something I'm sure you've already noticed, and that is this piece coming down and drooping over. While it does look good for a snow effect, it does block the Star Wars logo, which sure, isn't anything too important, but there's also a big space of black literally right next to it, so I don't know why it wasn't just put there instead. Like, seriously, why would you block the Star Wars logo when there is an open space 2 studs to the right? The hole where you put the probe droid in there is really just a 2x2 space. There are no studs in the bottom, it just slides in, but it holds it just fine. In fact, here is me just sliding it in using only one hand, and yeah, it's really that easy. The probe droid itself is elevated on these 10 2x2 clear round bricks. And of course there is an axle in the middle to keep them together. And then there are a bunch of arms. Some of them, like this one, can only move left to right, or you can move the claw at the end of it. The next arm over has like this piston piece, which I think is really awesome, and you can actually extend it. If I had to have a favorite arm, it would probably be this one because of that. Yes, I did stumble over those words, and I'm not going to re-record that because I already did like 6 times. And then we have this arm, which is rather simple, but it does have a bunch of joints, meaning it's incredibly posable. It also has the problem where it falls apart like this. That wasn't planned or anything, it just happened. And so if next time someone tells me that a non-LEGO set just falls apart, I'm going to link them to this part of this video. So I am going to keep showing the arms in the background, but here's the thing. No one really cares what they're like or what they do, I think. I've never met anyone ever who was like, and this arm on the probe droid is for clawing at enemies, and this arm is the sensor, because people don't really care. And that's kind of the big flaw with making this character. It was something that was barely on screen, and in the 9 Star Wars movies, we literally only saw one of. It's not some sort of droid that has a character or personality, there's no secret story behind it, it's literally just a mindless Imperial droid that was on screen for less than a minute. I mean, it looks cool, but did it really need a set of its own? Anyway, once you have this set on the stand, you can pose these legs in any way that you want. You can move them around to their ability and set this up however you so desire. This bottom part of the main body is probably going to be hit and miss for a bunch of people. I know some people aren't going to like how many gaps there are in this. I personally like these top curved pieces, by the way, I wanted to point that out. But yeah, I can definitely see this part irking some people because of how many gaps there are. There are also stickers in this here. Not too many stickers on this set at all. I think there's, including the plaque, only 5. There's honestly not too much to talk about in this section, so let's move on to the head. The head is fully capable of rotating on its own, which is actually really awesome and one of the features I do enjoy, and there are a lot of details here. Here you can see the different eyes, the different centers, all of that stuff. This part actually looks really cool, and I love how they were able to do this. Also, this is probably another reason why they didn't make this all black, because then how would you differentiate between the eyes and the rest of the body, but you know. And there's also this gap here, which comes because the piece that goes here, which is this one, just can't stay on. I can put it in place like you see me doing here, but every time that I have moved this or done anything with this, it's fallen off. It is very unstable because of that one stud connection and how everything around it is. Maybe this is just me, but this part keeps coming off. The top of the head is where the last 2 stickers are. Again, there's not much to talk about here, just like this dome and these antenna pieces. That's really all there is up here. And there is one more really important thing to talk about with this set, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably didn't know this, but I was actually missing an entire bag in my set. Apparently, this is supposed to come with 2 small bags of accessories or tools, and my purchase did not come with any. It's not like these are super common pieces, so I did not have replacement, but thankfully, having actually worked at the LEGO store before, I knew that sometimes they would have these on hand, especially if there was more than one bag. So I called and asked if this was the case. They said it was, so I was able to go and get the spare bag from them, which allowed me to finish this set instead of having to wait for LEGO to send me out those pieces. So basically, we had a set that is unstable in many parts, is the wrong color according to a lot of people, and came with missing pieces. And I'm really curious why people defend this stuff so much. Like, yes, okay, this is actually a good set, and that's why I got it. I thought that this looked good, I'm happy to have it, and the final product is fine, especially considering it's just going to be on display. But I want you to think about that. I'm not really looking for an answer here, but I want you to think about why is that okay here, but not okay with other brands. So, would I get this set? If you looked at this and thought it might be interesting, go ahead. If you were trying to find someone to convince you to get it, you're probably not gonna like it. I personally did, and I also did pick up the Scout Trooper and Darth Vader helmets, but I don't know if I'm gonna build those or just do some sort of giveaway. Whatever the case is, that's all for today, so thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to subscribe and like if you haven't already. And as always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons for their continued and awesome support, including people like Jonathan and Project Elements. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.